Welcome to Hugging the Cactus and the Keep Going podcast. I'm Andy Signor, and I'm so excited to have a special celebrity guest. So honored to have worked with him in the past over in Interns of Field, which was such a blast to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jamie Kennedy here. What's up, Jamie?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
It's so good to have you, man. It's been a while. I owe you an apology. When we did that show, Interns of Field, way back for Screen Junkies, back when I worked there, I made you do that Skeletor voice, and I regret it. Everyone made fun of me for it, and I'm sorry. I made the wrong choice. I was like, it's got to be funny. It's got to be funny, but you pushed against. You're like, no, it's too much. And I thought it was funny because then when you did that improv, and anyway, I guess I was wrong. It wasn't that bad, but some people were like, it's annoying.
Why are you talking in this voice still? You don't even have the mask on.
What voice?
That voice.
Where?
The voice you're doing right now.
This is my voice. This is who I was. I was born like this.
But I was like, so is Skeletor. That'd be fun. He's like pretending to be a Skeletor. Anyway, I apologize. Apparently, my directorial suggestion was off. But you were fantastic. Other than that, apparently some people didn't like my choice of making you do that voice. But that was so much fun.
Voice, but it was a cool project, man.
It was such a cool project. It was such a bummer that we didn't know what we were doing. This was before Disney Plus, Netflix, everything. We tried to do a streaming service, and I was proud of that script. I know everybody who was on it was really proud of it. I think we were ahead of our time, and we just didn't have the marketing for it. But I appreciate you doing that. It was a lot of fun. So dude, I've seen you online. You have a YouTube channel. I want to make sure we're plugging here. You have a podcast on Spotify, iTunes. Jamie Kennedy's out there doing wise moves. Instagram, Jamie Kennedy, and YouTube on Jamie Kennedy, both of which you can find him doing content. What got you into the podcast space? I mean, obviously everyone's doing it. What made you go there?
I did it a while ago, actually early. Like I did it in 2009 with a company called Engage Media. And my friend Ted, and he owns a company called Engage, and he did a lot at MySpace. So I was early into it there, but we were just so early, and we were doing stuff on live stream and stuff. And then I got too busy, and traditional media was always still like, hey man, you got to be like special, and this is for like, local access. That's kind of what the internet was. And now, but I knew it was going to become what it was, and it was like, like when I joined Twitter, I was early, like I would tweet, no one would tweet, no one was on the platform. And YouTube, like early on, I was on, and I wasn't getting much traction. And so I just stopped because I was in more traditional stuff. But, I think in the last 6 years, I mean, it's been going on for more, but the last 6 years, podcasting has really hit critical mass. And now I think it's a necessary, you have to have it. It's like a Twitter handle or Instagram. And I like to be able to control what I say. I mean, at least say what I want to say, as opposed to going on somebody's show and them not really asking me what I want to talk about.
Exactly. Control. I mean, I've seen it because it's true. You've pointed out like Cobra Kai now jumped on YouTube TV, now the biggest show on Netflix, Mr. Beast. You've said this, like more people are watching that than a lot of the other Hollywood stuff out there. It's definitely the game-changing move of the sort of the shifting of platforms and everything else.
It's so, I call it the Kim Kardashian Principle, in the sense of like Kim Kardashian has no ego what she wanted to do, and she basically just said, I'm going to do everything I can to become an entity.
Yep.
And where certain things, like that the big turning point I remember is that there was a big article about Vogue saying they would never put like reality people on the cover, but she became bigger than Vogue.
Yeah.
So they had to have her on the cover. And
Yep.
Mr. Beast is another example of that. Like, he's disrupting food industries. He's disrupting clothing industries. And Hollywood is being disrupted where not only do people don't care, they actually on the internet avoid it. They're like, I don't want to do that shit. And it's so true. And today I got like 52 new subscribers. It's a big win from me.
Yeah. Take them. I feel that. Yeah.
And it's because the last thing we have, Andy, is distribution. And it's a big problem, It's a big problem for, I hate to say we're content creators, but that's what we are. And it's all content, whether you're making a movie or you're doing a YouTube vlog. And now, if everyone plays by the rules and you grow and you get with the algorithm, you can get your stuff out there. And
Yep.
that feels so good. and I, if I can do it and do what I want to do, then I really don't care about regular stuff. I like it, but I've already done a lot.
Yeah, it all feeds itself. I mean, it's always the advice I tell everybody who's trying to get it. You can do it. You just have to know who your audience is. And Jamie has an audience, man. I want to go back and just pipe it up. We're gonna do a second part over in Popcorn Planet going through the movies. But I want to talk about Hollywood and your experience there first here. But I do want to preface, dude. Jamie Kennedy Experience is one of the funniest damn shows ever. What you did pioneering the prank space, I think, is legendary. Not enough people give you props and say it enough, even to this day. It was amazing. And then of course Scream. I loved you in Bowfinger. Back in Enemy of the State. I mean, you've had such an illustrious career, so many amazing stuff, still to this day. Now redoing the Tremors franchise. So bravo to you, man. I've always been a fan. I really like all your work. But I say all that because I'm a fan. I like it. But you've been through Hollywood. You've been through the machine. You've said it. You've talked. You just did a video experience. You were talking about sort of the, as you called it, why Hollywood is dying. I wanted to sort of focus on that on this topic of just sort of like the world we're currently living. Like obviously Gina Carano is a big news take. I don't want to get drowned in that. I've talked about it plenty, but so much of Hollywood, I feel like, is just turning on itself and getting, as you even called it, the arrogance of sort of the bubble that they're in. It's something that, as a liberal person who left Hollywood and now lives in Florida, like when I moved to Florida and had these sort of other people telling me and meeting conservatives and like, oh, they're not the devil. Like you just sort of realize the bubble is a real thing. And it's sort of really, I feel like, crushing a lot of the creativity and what we're seeing in Hollywood. What is your feeling on that? Do you feel like, and I'm not looking to shit on Hollywood. I know we all love it. We love the movies, but there is do you know what I'm saying? There sort of feels like just growing just frustration in that town that I think is actually in a way imploding it. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. Can I just shut my door?
Yeah,
so
go
I
for
have
it.
A better sound.
Yes,
1 second.
always good sound.
I'm gonna jump right in there. Hold on. I think that you're bringing up a really good point and a topic, and you know, I can say I feel like in a way the fun bus has left the station, and I don't know if I'm bitter old man or whatever. I mean, I'm only 50. I dress like I'm 15. Whatever. I'm really young, but like maybe I've done a lot. But maybe I'm crazy, but like, if you talk to different actors and they'll tell you different generations what they loved in Hollywood. You know, Jack Nicholson will probably say the 60s. Robert Downey Jr., I think he loved the 80s. There's different eras that people love, you know. Me, I probably love the 90s because that's when a lot of beautiful stuff was happening and more free. I just feel that like it's just so like we have to get better. We have to get more accountability. But all of that stuff is good that it's happening. But the hypocrisy and the actual like hate is too much. And there's just a lot of like, you should be able to work on a set with people that you don't agree with politically. And there's not even a dialogue, you know? I don't even know what I am politically. I tell everybody that. I think I'm a normal, like, in the middle dude, moderate. I don't even know. So yeah. It's like, it is weird. I literally feel like more and more you're going to have to pick a side. And I've never felt like that in my life. But maybe I'm older, but I don't know. I just don't know. I feel that people are there's a lot of great things happening, but there's also a lot of just like what is happening from let's say Doheny to Pacific, you know,
getting specific in the
Boulevard.
LA. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, is so different than what's happening from Phoenix on. You know what I mean?
Facts. It's like I feel like so many in Hollywood just don't even have conversations with people outside of Hollywood. and they're so afraid of having these conversations that they sort of just the groupthink has gotten so extreme. And I'm seeing it with online, just the amount of bullying and social media, the empowerment that social media gives. I feel like a lot of these people, I mean, I'm sure you've experienced or seen these people just who are these washed up people who never even got to any level of fame, who just feel like they deserve to be. And then they just sort of are on Twitter self-righteously sort of condemning everybody else. It's just a frustrating, like, I don't know, everyone's just sort of just trying to, there's so much hate against hate. It's so confusing to me.
Yeah, no, it's like, look, you can make your own stuff. You know, I'm at the place where I've done a lot, and I still love it. I still test for stuff. I still audition or take meetings on things, even though it's slowly getting back. But there's more stuff happening, and I love to play in that pool, but I'm not going to rely on that pool. And I believe that pool can change at any moment, and the amount of mistakes, or not even mistakes, of just missed choices now, the unforgivingness is crazy. Like, you know, it used to be if somebody made a mistake or had an issue, they would talk about it, or now it's just like we're done with this person.
Well, and because I like that on your channel, you're tackling a lot of these things, and you're sort of getting more honest. Is that been tough for you? Like, do you feel like Hollywood's watching? Do you feel like Hollywood doesn't watch any? Like, what is your sort of censor to sort of decide? All right, I'll talk about this topic, or, you know what, I'm not going to talk about that topic, even though I want to. Do you feel like you're censoring yourself, and is that part? You think that's part of the problem too?
Yeah, like Hollywood. What I was saying earlier, and I didn't make that point right, is that Hollywood is being so disrupted that basically more and more people are feeling creative, whether you believe they are or not. If they're getting views and they're making content that people are connecting with, they're going to keep doing it. And jobs are going away. So if people can influence, if they can have a channel, whatever that is, making pizzas, showing you how to fix a car, singing, whatever it is, I see it. YouTube has exploded in the last 18 months, even more. It's the second biggest search engine in the world.
Facts.
And so Hollywood is still going to do what it's doing, but it's, in my opinion, losing market share. And I don't know if it realizes that. And you can see it by the different shows and the award shows. And people aren't listening to celebrities as much, you know, not that they should ever have listened to them anyway.
Yeah, right.
But in terms of what you're saying is, I do sometimes try to not bite the hand that feeds me, but it's getting to the point where it's getting so nuts that at some point I'm just going to be like, listen, this is who I am. And I think that Hollywood, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because they have to fuck with you if you make money. So if I go out and my channel blows up, and I'm making X amount of money, Hollywood will always want to fuck with me, because it's against their moral code to turn down $1. Okay, they have to. They cannot leave money on the table. And it's just, that's the way it is. And if you look at anybody who's thriving, they would have never fucked with them unless they're making money. And that's why you've got the Paul brothers that don't even look at Hollywood. They don't give a fuck. And they shouldn't.
Yep. Well, it's just,
and I love Hollywood. There's too much bureaucratic bullshit. I can do this right now with you. Is this the Tonight Show? No. But does it have a rabid fan base? Yes. The agencies, bro, that's what really gets me upset. And I'm going to have to do a video about it, because that's your agent.
Yep.
They're supposed to have your back. They're supposed to talk, hey, we have a career problem here. We have a big pothole. Let's talk about it.
Why do we have this point where we have to be so self-righteously say your belief isn't the same as mine, so I must cancel? Why is do you sense there's more people like you inside Hollywood, or at least are acknowledging it privately and just sort of fed up, like playing Do you think it could implode at some point where they just say enough is enough?
Yes, dude. There's tons of people like me. There's people way more right than me. I'm not even the right. I consider myself like a liberal. Like, marry who you want. Have sex, you know,
Yep.
be whoever you want. Get all the social initiatives we need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, as long as everything is legal
Yep.
and morally
Consensual. Yep.
acceptable, and my moral code is is, I'm not like a right-wing Christian or anything, but my moral code is like, just be a good person and don't hurt anybody. And other than that, I'm probably a little fiscally conservative because I make good money. But like California taxes, I'm not crying about them because we can get stuff written off, people in my tax bracket. So I've been very fortunate. So I would consider myself a liberal, like pro-gay marriage, pro-women's choice.
But then the liberals make us doubt ourselves. Like, well, wait a second. Just because I want to be a human being and give someone a right, which you think is the liberal view.
I don't think you have to cancel every fucking thing. Like, yeah, dude, there's way more people, way more right. I'm not even in the right. Like,
yeah, no, neither am I.
I think that people are gonna yeah, because like I said, dude, the fun bus is going away. Like,
they're all moving to Texas.
Well, I think it's like, okay, what did Gina do? She equated.
Oh, don't go down. I'm not even going to let you go down. I'm saving you. Save it for your own when you want to make that. I don't want you to jump into that without actually doing the homework because it's complicated. And the reality is it deserves a conversation instead of a firing because there are two sides to it. Conversations are gone in our society, and it's just tragedy that we Disney and Disney has a double standard that's insane. But I don't want to get Jamie in trouble. That was not my goal here. I want to continue this conversation. We're doing it over in the Popcorn Planet part. I want to talk fun movies while I still have them for a few more minutes. So thank you for being here. Awesome conversation. I appreciate it. If you want to get more real conversations, go check him out on YouTube at Jamie Kennedy. He keeps it real, and I'm sure it sounds like he's going to keep. Jamie, my advice to you is find your voice yourself and stop. Don't be afraid. As soon as I did that, the views started skyrocketing. And then once you build that audience up and they support you directly like they're about to do Gina, then you really can control it. And I think it is the tide is turning, that people want genuine voices, right? They want to know that the person's not afraid to sort of share their thoughts, respectfully, obviously. But I love what you're doing so far. Keep it up, man. Awesome work. Go find him on social media, Instagram. Jamie Kennedy, look him up. So great. If you want to hear more about some movie stories, stay tuned and check out Popcorn Planet, which is going to be right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Hit that subscribe button. Lots more coming.